Good morning, everyone. Welcome to, shall we call it, episode number 2 of Avoiding the Shiny Object. So last week in our 10 minutes, and I'll be doing this each Thursday morning at 10 a.m. for 10 minutes, and trust me, the 10 minutes flies. So we know how hard it is to own a business. We know how many different hats you need to wear. And so last week we talked to you a little bit about target marketing, figuring out the DNA of that target market so that you can create compelling messaging. And we started to talk a little bit about execution, and I think that's really what I want to talk about today. I am a fan of the 4 disciplines of execution, and I know that someone from my team will type the link into the comments section, and you can watch about an 18-minute video where Chris McChesney gives you a brief overview of that book, which is really pretty awesome. But what he says, which is really true, is we are taught strategy, but we're never really taught execution. And at the end of the day, you can have the best strategy in the world, but if you don't execute on it, it doesn't matter. It's going to stay in your closet and nothing's ever going to come from it. So, hey, Tommy. So execution for small business owners, I believe, comes down to determining the right behaviors. What are the behaviors that you're going to do day in and day out that are going to drive the right results? And typically that means you're trying to grow your business in one way or another. And by the way, feel free to type in questions. I will do my best to address them during the broadcast. And if you ask a question, be sure to sign your question with your website, because I believe a rising tide lifts all boats, and I'd like for people to be able to reach you. So let's talk about behaviors. Okay, 4 disciplines of execution talks about the whirlwind of activity that we have. That is, in essence, our day job. That's the 150 different things that we have to do day in and day out, because that's working in our business. The real thing that we need to figure out how to do is how to work on the stuff that is important but not urgent. Because when important meets urgent, guess who wins? Urgent. It's the fire. You have to put it out. So one of the ways that Chris McChesney talks about making sure you have time for the important, and I have been talking about this forever. Anybody who knows me, I'm a big fan of calendar blocking. So I believe that you have to, is that better, Andy? You have to block time on your calendar so that you can focus on the important things that are going on instead of just the urgent things that are going on. So the reality is, when you want to focus on execution and when you want to focus on what are the behaviors that you need to do, the first thing you need to do is work on what they talk about as wildly important goals. What are those things that are really going to drive your business forward? Now, if you were with us last session, we talked a little bit about target market, and the reason you want to work within a target market is because it's much easier to be a big fish in a small pond, and all the activities that you do should fuel and support the other activities that you're doing. You're welcome, Andy. So when you think about your wildly important goals, you have to think about what are the things that you can do that will really drive your business forward. And this takes a lot of time and effort. In fact, yesterday I did a lunch and learn with Rachel Durkin of Paradigm Marketing, where we talked about the 4 pillars of marketing. It's a huge job for anybody, but you can't give up. Just because it's huge, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Block the time and create the space to do it. So marketing is a big job. The whirlwind is always getting in the way. I think one of the ways that you can break this down is something that we talk about throughout the Earn More behavior. It's determining the right 2, 3, 4 behaviors that you can do consistently over time that drive results. And for each of you, that's going to be different. But for me, in the B2B arena, That is going to be things around building thought leadership. That's going to be things around building circle of influence. Maybe it's going out and getting speaking engagements. Because once you determine what that ideal target market is, the best use of your time, and in line with creating wigs, the best use of your time is going to be to take that up a level and work on referral sources. You've probably heard the 80-20 rule. 20% of what you do is going to drive 80% of your results. What is your 20%? That's where your wigs will live, those wildly important goals that you will set for yourself. And then everything you and your team, whether it's a traditional team, whether it's a virtual team, whether it's your husband and kids, they all will help you and support you to achieve these wildly important goals. But the thing about wildly important goals are they have to be very specific. So when you are setting goals, hi Sina, good morning. When you are setting goals, they need to be SMART goals. Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant. I don't believe realistic comes into it. I want them to be relevant, and they need to be time bound. Or as Chris McChesney says in 4 Disciplines of Execution, you need to get from X to Y by when. So as you're thinking about this concept of execution and breaking it down, they have to be very specific. It can't be, I want to get to the next level. Every time I hear someone tell me they want to get to the next level in their business, I think that's the equivalent. I moaned on this one last session of saying I can do business with anyone. What does that mean? Let's get a little more specific. Does the next level mean that you want to make $10,000 more a month? Does the next level mean you want to work 30 hours instead of 60 hours? So really be specific on what it is you're going to be looking for as a result. So in the end, the reality is it's all about figuring out the behavior. I actually just got off a staff meeting with my team, and I was introducing the concept to my team of lag measures and lead measures. This is going to get a little heady, and we can continue it next week, but lag measures are the things that are the result. And so a lag measure is, Sina, be sure to put in your website so people can reach you. Lag measures are the result. So your monthly sales, your profit, those are lag measures. They're called lag measures because there's nothing you can do about them. They are the result. Lead measures are the things that you want to measure that are influenceable and predictable that will impact the lag measure, okay? So lead measures will produce lag measures. You're welcome. But as I said, they are predictive and influenceable. Now, let me give you a great example, and this is the example Chris uses in his video. And Kelly or Jesse, would you be kind enough to put that link in to the Chris McChesney video? Hi, Mary, how are you? So the greatest example of the difference between lag and lead measures is when it comes to weight loss. The lag measure is, what do you think? It's the number on the scale. However, thank you, Jesse. However, the lead measure, in order to achieve the goal of weight loss, is calories in, calories out, and exercise. So if we can, and it's difficult to determine what those lag measures are for your particular business, but ultimately they are behaviors. So it's a matter of getting clear, again, in summary, getting clear on the target market, getting clear, very funny, Senna, getting clear on what the goal is going to be from X to Y by when, and then constantly working and measuring and watching these behaviors or these lead measures that can help you achieve your ultimate goal. So our goal here at C3 Workplace is to help you grow your business. We do that by providing space, support, and education. Everything that I'm talking to you about today, and we'll be talking to you each Thursday at 10 a.m. for 10 minutes, which, as I mentioned, flies by, and it's already up. I teach in my Earn More program, which is a 7-month program. You can visit my website, c3workplace.com. Jess, if you wouldn't mind typing the link to that program in, I would appreciate it. And love to have your questions, comments, join the conversation. And if there is a way that we can help you get better results, we would be happy to do that. And I thank you for joining me for my second episode of Avoiding the Shiny Object. Have a great day, everybody, and I wish you fabulous results. I wish you clear goals and fabulous results. Have a great day, everyone.